Welcome back. February 11th, National Peppermint Patty Day. Peppermint patties, yeah. The famous Peanuts character has her own candy named after her. Today, we are going to attempt to make our own homemade peppermint patties. I mean, because I can't do a show of me just sitting here eating a pack of peppermint patties. I mean, what kind of show would that be? I mean, I could, but I mean, it'd be like a 30-second show. These are really good. I mean, so today we're going to attempt to try to make our own. So we have all our stuff here. Let's get started today. I'm not a big fan of doing candy, because especially the chocolate dipping part, because I really suck at it. But I have an idea of something we're going to try to make them a little more uniform and maybe a little more easier to do. So let's get started and see if we can pull it off. Alrighty? Okay, for today you will need 2 cups of powdered sugar. You need 1.5 tablespoons of unsalted butter softened. You need 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of evaporated milk, and then for the chocolate coating you need semi-sweet chocolate and 1 tablespoon of shortening. Okay, so let's get started. Our paddle attachment is on our mixer here. We're going to add our butter to our mixing bowl. Okay. We're going to add our confection sugar, all 2 cups of it. Our evaporated milk. Our 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And our 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract. And we might put a little bit more. They say to use a peppermint oil, like a food grade peppermint oil, because it has a better flavor to it, or a more stronger, potent flavor to it. But I wasn't about to go start searching for peppermint oil to do peppermint patties. I mean, I'm sure the extract will work just fine, and we're going to find out when we make them, aren't we? Alrighty, so that's what you put in your mixing bowl, and just mix it. Start it off slow. Mix it till it's all incorporated. Alrighty, once that's done mixing, we want to take it all out of here. Make sure you get it off here. It's a pretty firm mixture. I mean, it's just basically sugar, a little evaporated milk, and some, a couple liquid ingredients, the extracts and the vanilla, that just kind of bring this together. But it's really, I mean, a sugar paste. I mean, that's kind of all it is. So, let's just take it out of our bowl here. Like I said, it's a pretty firm mixture already. We're just going to pop it into a container, because this thing has to go into the refrigerator to get more firm than this. Even though it's kind of firm now, it's going to get more firm because you're going to have to roll it into discs later on. So it goes in the fridge for about an hour. So don't start your chocolate yet or anything. We're going to be doing that. Once we know we've got these ready to go, or close to ready to go, we'll start our chocolate melting down in our double boiler. Okay? So let me pop this in the fridge and see you in about an hour for the next step. Okay, so our peppermint mix has been in the fridge for about an hour. Now here's my idea that I have for today. I have this silicone muffin pan, and what I'm thinking of doing to make more of a universal, evenly shaped peppermint patty is to use this to make the patties. What I'm thinking of doing is putting some chocolate in here first, then putting the peppermint disc, and then covering it with chocolate, refrigerating the whole thing, and then just popping out perfectly round peppermint patties. That's my idea. Not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try it, okay? So what I did was I found a glass that's smaller than the bottom of my muffin pan because I want to press it down, and I'll use this as a guide to know, don't make my peppermint center bigger than this base of this glass. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so I have a tray here with some parchment paper that we're going to put our flattened discs on, because then we're going to put them in the freezer to get them really hard and cold, so when we do our chocolate they kind of hold their shape while the chocolate because we're going to pour hot chocolate over it, so we're hoping that it stays together enough. So we're going to take a scoop of our peppermint mixture here. I guess just roll this into a ball, which would probably be the easiest way. I mean, we want a good, I'm using that scooper because I'd like a nice thick center to the peppermint patty, okay? So what I'm going to do is just flatten it with this glass. Smooth it out. See? So now I have this nice round disc of peppermint filling. So I'm just going to put this on my parchment. And we're just going to do that with all of them until we have a full tray of them, pop them in the freezer. Okay? See you in a few. Okay, so there's our tray. It'll make about 10 discs for the recipe we're using today. Into the freezer, we're going to start melting our chocolate. Only about 10-15 minutes, so we figure by the time we melt our chocolate, this will all be ready to put together. Okay, we're going to start melting our chocolate while our discs are in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes. We're doing the double boiler technique again on a smaller scale, obviously, because that's all we're using it for. We don't need that big setup. Okay, we're not adding any other ingredients to this or anything. So just get that steam going, get the chocolate melting. I put the shortening in with the chocolate. It's going to be good. See you in a bit. So our chocolate's just about ready. So what I'm going to do is just spray a little Pam on a paper towel, and I just want to kind of lightly grease. I don't want to spray it right on there because I think that might be too much. So I'm just kind of just lightly greasing the inside of our cups here, just to make sure that it doesn't stick. I don't think it's going to stick anyway, and I think we'll be able to just turn it over and pop it out, but just in case, okay? So our chocolate is all nice and melted, ready to go. Just going to get my discs out of the freezer, and let's start making some peppermint patties. Okay, so step one, we're going to switch hands here since I'm a righty. Take our melted chocolate, and we're just going to put a little bit in each cup just to give us a bottom here. Okay, not too much because you need some for the top layer, don't forget. Okay, so 10 cups. We have 10 patties, 10 cups. We'll spread this out on the bottom, so that's why you don't really need to put all that much in there. Okay, so I put my chocolate in. I just want to kind of spread it out along the bottom. Just so we have, I mean, you could probably just push the disc in and it would do the same thing. Got a little too much chocolate in that one. See if we can't share that with another one. So we're just trying to make it as flat as possible. So you just want to make sure it covers the whole bottom of your wells here. Okay. We're going to take our hardened discs and just drop them right on the top. You can even probably push them down a little bit because you're not going to squeeze the chocolate out of the bottom anyway. I really hope this idea works and that they pop easily out of this pan. One, because they'll look really nice. They'll be nice and uniform rather than that dipping technique with the you dip it in. I really suck at that. I mean, if you remember the Butterfinger video, I mean, they might have tasted good, but they didn't look so hot. And they definitely weren't nice and uniform, which is kind of what I want this project to look. I want it to be nice and, you know, that if you put them in a box, you'd go, wow, what store did you get those from? Because they look really good. Okay, now what we're going to do is take the rest of our chocolate, and we're just going to put it right over the top of each of these to cover them. Make sure you could just kind of put a nice big dollop on the top, and then we'll go back and we'll spread them out after we cover them all. Okay. Okay, so we're going to smooth these all down and get them nice and even and coated. And then we're going to put them in the refrigerator, let them re-harden. Hopefully they pop right out of this thing. And then we should have some really nice looking homemade peppermint patties. Alrighty? See you in a couple hours. Alright, it's been about an hour or so. Let's see how we did. They're nice and firm, but let's see if they pop right out. Hey. I know it's pretty thick. It looks more like a peanut butter cup than a peppermint patty. But it looks nice. Hey, it gives me a good idea for National Peanut Butter Cup Day. Tastes like a peppermint patty. I mean, it's really big, but yeah. That totally worked. Well, what do you know? Who knew you could make your own peppermint patties? There you go. So either make them, go buy some. It's Peppermint Patty Day. See you tomorrow.